I'm sure that you're all excited, so it will be really cool. And some of you might find this a bit not for them because it's really about overqualified. And in Israel, actually, overqualified has two different meanings, and it's interesting. It's either they think you have too many years of experience, and it can be even more than 4 years, okay? Depends on the job description. And it can be the fact that they think you are too old for the position, but they are too polite to tell you, okay? So it's actually two ways. Now, I'm talking, as you know, very open because the whole idea is to help you. I'm not here like to hide or to be too polite. I'm here to make sure that you get a job at the end of the road, okay? So we're gonna tackle both things. Like I'm gonna put this on this side. We're gonna speak about the two options. One option, they might look at your CV and think that you are overqualified because you have more years on the CV than what they ask for. And the other thing is being tagged as too old for the position. Now, let's talk about the two things. Like, you can ask yourself, if I have more years, isn't it a bonus? Like, I applied, I have more years. It means that I want the position and I have more experience. Isn't it a great thing? You know, like, I want to hear a little bit from you. Why do you think they will just put your CV aside right away? Okay? What do you think the HR is thinking when he wants 4 years of experience and someone sends a CV and he has 6, 10 years?
Well, I would expect some HRs to be afraid of ambitions.
Okay. What do you mean afraid of ambition? What are they afraid of?
That the person shall not do the job and instead pursue the career in the company and take over the other people places.
Okay, that's one idea. Okay, usually that's less what they're worried about. So give me more ideas.
Motivation. Sometimes I received a lot of feedbacks that I will be dismotivated after 3-4 months because my qualifications too over, and probably I will get unhappy after 3-4 months.
Okay, yes, that's really, really true. That's the main reason, except of the salary issue that we'll touch in a minute. The idea is like they understand that you're a new Olim and they do understand that you have more experience and you want to go into the company because it's a good company and you just want to start working. But they know from experience that the time that it will take to train you will be between 3 to 6 months, and then you'll start working, okay, and bring real value to the company. And usually what happens then is that you start like feeling bored very quickly because you did something similar like 4 years ago when you just started working in your company back home, okay? And then they say, okay, so what will happen? He will use us. He will be here for a year and he will leave for a higher level position because he will be really bored. We can't offer him something more interesting because usually we promote after 2 years. And for us, it's a waste of time. We wasted 6 months and, you know, and then he gave us 6 months and he left. Okay, we can understand this kind of worry. Now, in order to tackle this kind of worry, you need to understand it. When you send your CV and when you go to an interview, you need to think about answers to answer them why it won't be boring for you. Okay, good answers. And actually, you need to answer yourself as well. Why won't it be boring for you? Okay, and usually the answer revolves around the issue that a lot of you are either new in high tech or in the new country or in the new type of company, and you need to focus on the fact that the job is completely new to you, although you have experience. Either the field is completely new, okay, or the type of position and what you will be asked to do is new, okay, or the circumstances are new. You have to like find out for yourself before you go to the interview and before you send your CV, what is new for you and what is exciting for you besides getting a job and working in a good company in this type of position. If you can't answer it to yourself, you won't be able to tackle it in a job interview, and you won't be able to answer it in a job interview. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. You are the people that should be raising the question in the job interview, even if they don't ask you, okay? You will be the one having to ask and say, I want to explain something. You will have to tackle it because a lot of times they won't tell you that they are thinking about it. And you have to raise the question and say, I want to explain a bit more why I applied for this position, okay? This has to come from you, okay? It's very important that you understand it. Now, for people that are older and apply for a certain position that looks more junior, and this comes from both sides, okay? I'm going to go to the second page. Wait, it's not moving now. Why it's not moving? To page number 2. Now it's moving. Okay. We're going to go to CV. Okay. Now, all of you, please read what I wrote here. All of you make this mistake. All of you. I didn't see even one Ole, no matter from what country, that didn't make this mistake. And in Israel, it's almost a big no-no. Almost always, unless they are asking for 20 years of experience, which is very rare. Now I'll explain to you. You usually automatically write in the top sentence the number of years of experience you have. Usually it's automatic. I have over 16 years of experience. I have over 10 years of experience. Guys, I want to be so clear. Unless in the job description, they are asking for a number of years that you actually have, you don't write this because they put your CV aside right away. And it's only the first 3 sentences in your CV, and your CV was put aside. They wouldn't bother to read more. Okay, and a lot of you don't understand, you know, you look perfect for the position, but what you don't understand that you wrote automatically, like you used to do in your country. I have over 10 years of experience. I have over 6 years of experience. Even I have over 4 years of experience. If they are looking, let's say, for junior, I will let you speak in a minute, all of you, okay? If they're looking for junior and they write 2 years of experience, 1 year of experience, and you have 4, they won't get back to you. Because, why? Because again, they will tag you as someone that is gonna ask for a higher salary that they can afford, and they don't wanna waste time on a phone call. You must understand that for junior positions, they usually have between 100 to 200 applicants. Whatever they can do not to call too many people, they will do. Okay, now questions, please, about CV.
In years of experience, if I have like 10 years, but all ask for 4, can I put 4 years of experience?
No, but what you can do, and I recommend all of you to do, okay? You cut your experience to the last place you worked in. Okay, it's not a lie. You just show the most relevant thing. This thing makes 2 things. It makes your CV look more up to date and more relevant, because usually people, let's be honest, usually people remember what they did in the last 5 years, okay? For me, I really can't remember like things I did like 10 years ago. I can't. Even if I wanted, I barely remember, okay? And also it's not cutting edge, it's not fresh, it looks like you are too old for the position. So it's not a lie, but it makes your CV look more appealing if you leave only the last experience on your CV. Now, of course, if you worked in Amazon or in Microsoft or in anything really, really, you know, exciting, more than like 5 years ago, yes, leave it on your CV, okay? But in order to pass the first barrier, which is the CV reading, the last 5 years is the most important, okay? And you have to make it as tempting as possible to the junior HR. Usually what happens is that the junior HR, usually a girl, age 26, is reading your CV, okay? For her, anything which is not completely understood, she puts aside, okay? If she doesn't understand why you applied, it's too much of a headache, she's not gonna pass it on, okay? Now, usually that's why I tell you to apply when I am doing the personal consulting. I tell you usually to apply through the hiring manager, which is a professional one. That's what usually I recommend to people that I consult to, because they are not a junior girl, 26 years old, that just want to go home. Okay, they are more professional and they'll be able to read your CV a bit more carefully. But if you just send online and you want to pass the first screening, make it easier for her. Last position, the title of the position you apply for is the one that you write as the thing you wanted most in the world, okay? And you don't mention hundreds of years of experience you have, because then for her, she will really not understand, okay? Questions, people?
Maya?
Mhm.
So this is Vicky. So I have a question. It seems people are not certain whether the CV should be one page or can be more, or in Israel, is it good to have a cover letter or not cover letter?
So some companies have been asking for cover letters in the last year because they like to see the intention. But I want to explain that cover letters in Israel are very, very different than in the US, for instance. In the US, it's more talking about you as a person, okay? Like your qualification and about you as an achiever, as a team player, etc. In Israel, these are empty words. I call it empty words because they can't check if you are a real achiever or a real, nice person or like a team player. They can't check it. And in Israel, things that you can't check are thought to be empty words. In Israel, a cover letter is more about what did you actually do in your in your last job? Like, I secured 20 customers. I worked in the financial department that had 30 people and I managed 10 of them. Like, the number game is more what they expect for when they want you to write a covering letter. Like, how can we actually use your qualification? Like, I'm really good at Excel. I do a lot of Tableau and, VBL. Like, they want to understand what you actually did. This is more of a cover letter in Israel. And they want also for you to explain what you saw in the position that they sent, but not the company is exciting. Like, why is it relevant to your experience? This is what they actually mean in an Israeli cover letter. I see that you asked for A, B, and C. I did B and C. Regarding A, I'm studying it now online. Okay, this will be a usual cover letter in Israel. Okay, so it's really like re-explaining your CV in a more easier way for them to understand.
Sorry, Maya, how long should the cover letter be?
Not more than like 8 lines.
Thank you.
Okay, no more than 8 lines, and very clear, very, very clear why you apply to the position. And not because the company is great, okay? Because I used to work in a similar type of company that dealt with cloud issues, for instance, okay? Like, very to the point, very, I call it explaining to stupid.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, regarding being older, guys, I'm over 45. I know you're shocked, all of you, okay? Because I look 28, the max, but I'm over 45. So what we can do about it is really nothing, but we can make it more relevant to get our personality across. What does it mean? If I send my CV now out for an HR position, I don't do more than one pager, no more than one pager, and I write only the 10 last years of my experience. Again, why? Only the last 10 years of experience are relevant in Israel, so I don't feel like I'm lying. I might have more experience, but I will explain it in a personal interview where they can get a feeling of who I am, okay? And not be so scared of my experience, okay? So the CV is really just a way to get to the personal interview, okay? They don't have to know how old I am the first time they see me and the first time they read my CV. And I don't feel it's a lie because, again, for them and for me, the only important thing is the last 10 years, okay? They wouldn't ask me more anyway, and they don't care about the experience that came before. So just let me shine on a personal interview and make them less afraid of my age, and just let me get through the door. Okay, for a personal interview. Question about CV. Don't feel ashamed, like ask the strangest questions, it's okay.
Hello, Maya.
Mhm.
May I ask a question? If my last job experience is 11 years on one place, so should I put only one?
Let's be honest, the first job, the first stage in the last place you worked in, was it the same thing you did at the end?
No, of course not. So
Okay, so leave only the last, like, you know, yeah. Cut down the last one, the first one. It was junior, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, there were like 3 places before the last one. So
Okay, so just like you can leave the 11 years, it's okay? Or you can play with it and take out just one thing you did and write 10 years. Okay? And don't do the mistake and leave up there in the CV, I have more than 10 years experience, okay?
I have it
Because
right
you
now.
have it on your CV and nobody will get back to you, okay?
Thank you. Yes, I will delete it because I
Yeah.
have it now.
What you usually do, you write, I have experience in marketing, I have experience in finance, I have experience in product marketing. You just write the subject and experience. That's it, not the number of years, okay?
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
so sorry, Maya, if the job description tells about 10 years experience, and I even saw 16 years experience for PwC, what shall I write then?
So it's okay. If it asks more than 10 years of experience or 10 years and up, so you can leave the 15 years. Okay?
Thank you.
But I'm talking about, a lot of times they say 5 years and up, or 6 years, and I don't want to disqualify you the minute they see your CV.
Okay, so we have to read what is written in the job
Yeah.
description, and the CV should match the JD. That's
and
the point.
Of course, if they're looking for someone senior more than 10 years, so guys, you can leave your CV as usual, okay? But I'm talking about the places that I know a lot of Valim say, I want to go into high tech, okay, for instance, and I have more than 10 years, let's say in bank or in a marketing company, and they put all the 10 years, and the high tech girl, 26, she looks, and she doesn't understand why you applied for a junior position. Okay, she doesn't think for a moment, oh, it's a different field, oh, they just came to Israel. She just puts it aside. Okay.
Is it worth to mention in the CV or in the cover letter that, okay, on this moment, okay, so I'm new to Israel and I'm on a Hadash and so on.
No, don't do that, because they don't care. Okay, and it takes you one sentence that you can use for something else. Okay.
Thank you, Maya.
Maya, I have a question. What about LinkedIn? Because we have there too, like a mean of.
Yeah, but again, let's be very honest about it. Is something that you did more than 10 years ago relevant? Should it be on your LinkedIn? Like, is it really important? Unless it's a really important company, as I said, like Amazon or Microsoft or something that all the Israeli knows, no point in even putting it on your LinkedIn. What's important is your last 10 years. Also in Israel, like your experience is relevant only 10 years. And I'll be even more strict in several companies, what you did more than 5 years ago, because we are so innovative and most of the systems change every 5 years. We don't care what happened even more than 5 years ago. Okay? So your LinkedIn, again, last 10 years, a lot of buzzwords in your field will make the job easier for them.
Maya, about
one more question about, because in LinkedIn we have the network and the connection about our past jobs and past studies and this, and I don't understand why it's not relevant, because maybe will be a thing that we need to make connections to.
Yeah, but again, if you worked in a similar type of company more than 10 years ago, like the one you worked in the last 10 years. So it's the same connection. So no point to going back. If it was a different type of company, so 10 years have passed. Have you kept all these connections for 10 years? I'm not sure. If you did and you apply for something that is connected to more than 10 years ago, you have to have a really, really good reason and explanation. And you will have to explain it in a like very consistent email, like I still have connection in the artillery field with these and these people. That's why I apply. Actually, more better than your CV. And you will have to contact the business manager of the field, not the HR. Okay, so it will have to be like a specific application.
If I have like experience in a good company like more than 10 years ago, and I leave it there, but I will have a gap between my last 5 years and this last good opportunity 10 years ago.
What company is it?
KPMG.
Okay, so what you usually write, okay, is like in the top. This is good for a lot of you. I used to work as a junior in the Big Four, you know, KPMG. And after that, I moved on to, and you write the name of your company, okay? And that's where I acquired my experience in finance, Excel, blah, blah, blah. And this is in the top of your CV, okay? So you have the buzzword, and you don't really need to write it in your CV. What I'm trying to tell all of you is that, guys, use your CV as a key. The key is to open the door for an interview face-to-face where they get to meet you, okay? The CV is really made for, like, I call it CV for dummies. They have to understand why you applied, okay? That's it, nothing else. It's not about you, it's about them understanding why you applied, okay? You use the same words they use in the job description, you use the same sentences, you copy paste the name of the position, like make it easy for them, okay? It's a girl, she's tired, she's 26, she has 200 people that send the CV, make it easy for her.
And about the degree, like my first degree is in 2004, and I have like
You don't write the dates, just
okay,
the degree.
But if I have like I have like BA, MBA, I have like some certificates. I just put the certificates that are interesting for the job. Like I can.
Yeah, don't waste time. Always save place on the page and write just what's relevant. CV for dummies, okay? She's very tired. You're number 200 on her list, okay? Okay, let's go on. And then
may I have a short question? You mentioned
it can be a long one. It can be a long one. Come on.
Okay, you mentioned buzzwords in the LinkedIn profile. What do you mean?
Every field in Israel, every field, marketing, engineering, product, has very specific buzzwords that make you look professional and explain to an Israeli reader that you worked in the field and that you know what is new and fresh and sexy in the field, okay? Now, I always tell, the way to understand what is a good buzzword is to read at least 10, 20 job description in your field and see the same words that come up again and again and again, okay? The words that come up again and again and again are the buzzwords in your field, okay?
Great, thank you so much.
And usually I'll tell you another thing, and you will have probably, how do you say it? Now I forgot the word. Someone that explains to you something like I do right now. A lesson. You will have a lesson on LinkedIn, and they will tell you how the HRs are looking for buzzwords in your field just to see who comes up. So if you don't have these buzzwords on your LinkedIn, they don't see you. They simply don't see you.
Okay, where to put them?
You put them in the job, in the way you describe what you used to do, because the buzzwords are professional.
Professional history. So in the okay, thank you so much.
Welcome. Now we're gonna go to the second thing. That's the phone interview. Everybody hates the phone interview. Because the phone interview is like, hi, can you tell me about yourself? This is how it sounds usually, okay? So first of all, tell her, sorry, I didn't hear, where do you call from? Because you're never here, okay? So tell her, ask her to tell the name of the company again and the name of the position again. Why? First of all, the minute she tells you the name of the position, your mind focuses and you know what to say professional-wise. Because every company calls the same position in a different slang, okay? So she tells you, I'm from XYZ and I called because you applied for the financial analyst position. Okay, now you know what she's talking about, okay? You know the company, you know the name of position, you can make sense when you talk to her and you explain about your experience, okay? Now, a lot of people have the tendency to do again the same mistake. You started introducing yourself by saying, I have 10 years of experience in. Now, guys, the reason she called you is because she didn't see it in your CV. Okay, so don't say it the first thing you say, in, like when she calls you, okay? You have to focus, okay? Like you start by asking her, okay, tell me about yourself. Answer back, always. What would you like me to focus on? What is important to you? And she will usually say, trust me, the last 5 years. And if she says, oh no, just anything. So speak about what you did regarding the name of position she gave you. And that's why I say, don't be shy and ask her, can you please repeat the name of the company and position you are calling about? Because she never says it clear, because again, you are the 200th person she calls and she can't say it again and again and again.
Well, there is
so just focus on that and don't start with I'm a new Ole.
There is one more reason to ask the girl about the position, because they sometimes miss the right position and call you for another one.
Yes, that's true, but please don't close the door. You can tell her, wow, it's interesting that you thought about this one. I was thinking about that one, okay? Like keep on the conversation. Don't make it feel uncomfortable if she got a mistake, okay? It's interesting. It's interesting, okay? Okay, so again, you focus on mainly on the last 5 years. It's great that you called about marketing position. It's like exactly the field that I'm coming from. In the last 5 years, I've been working in a company that is one of the biggest in the field, in the field. And I've been in the marketing department doing A, Y, Z. Guys, be very focused. Israelis are really not interested to hear about you. Okay, they're interested to show me the money. What can you do for me that I can pay you a salary for?
Maya, would a person make the phone interview with the same people, possibly the same people review your CV, or they actually do not finish reading the CV, they just see the buzzwords and then they say, okay, I'll call her or something like that?
So usually there are a few stages, it depends on how big is the company. In medium size and large companies, there is a girl that just calls to make like this on your CV and then forward it to the HR. Okay, so she will just ask you, do you have experience with Excel? Do you have experience with financial analyst? Do you have, very focused, okay? And if the answers are yes, she will forward it to HR for a more, face-to-face Zoom interview, okay? In small companies, the HR is the one calling you. It could be already a longer interview if you sound interesting. But they will always try to check first that you have the basic qualification that they are looking for. And they will always ask you, what is your salary range?
Okay, so we ask them first, what is the salary they can
and
offer?
they will tell you, depends on your experience, and you will say, you will sound very professional and say, okay, from what I understand in the market, and it's okay to say the salary range. People, don't be afraid. You are sitting with an HR consultant and you will have a mentor. It's okay to know what is your salary range. Companies are not out there to cheat you. You can say my salary range is between 24 to 28, depends on the benefits.
How should we do when someone call you, it's not so responsible person? Like for whatever reason, maybe they're tired, maybe whatever. They like they don't really listen to what you say, or they already make up their mind. How should we handle that?
First of all, remember what I said. Israelis are very to the point, nothing too long, and ask them what the first thing you ask them is, what would you like me to focus on? What is important to you? Okay, like not very long, very to the point, nothing about yourself personally usually. Okay, not in the first phone call. When it will move forward, maybe yes, but it's not a polite conversation. It's a conversation that comes to see, can I make a check mark on all the basics to forward it to the professional manager?
Great, thank you.
More questions about the phone interview that everybody hates?
Yeah, maybe, hello, maybe you could tell us some, like the most common mistakes, because I had maybe 5 or 6 calls, and after that I got email that we're sorry but we will continue with other candidates. And for some of positions, I understood that like I was really I can do that job, and we talked with the girls and they were saying like okay, but after 1 week I got email that we will continue with the other candidates. So maybe I made some, like common mistakes and I said something wrong.
Okay, so 2 things. When someone is asking you, do you know A, B, or C? You don't say, no, sorry, I didn't work in it. You do the Israeli way and you say, interesting, I'm just learning it online. This is one, okay? Guys, in Israel, learning online and learning by yourself is something everybody do all the time, especially in high-tech position, okay? It's like, there is no, I don't know. There is, I'll learn it, or I'm learning it online, or learning it with friends, or taking a course, okay? You never say no. You never say, I didn't learn it. It just shows that you're not ambitious enough, okay? And that you are not cutting edge, and that you don't want to move forward. Like, everybody are learning all the time in Israel online, everything, okay? Like really, don't say no. Just give her a good explanation to forward your CV. You just say, oh, interesting. I know it's a really interesting, software. So I started taking a course and I think it's really cool. Something nice, okay? And be honest about it. The minute you close the phone call, if it means that it's important in your field, start taking the course online, okay? Usually all of it is free online, okay? And all of you should be able to learn alone. And now you have time. You're looking for a job. You can learn alone at home. You can learn with a group of friends. It's nice, actually. Okay. So this is one thing that usually for Israeli ears, if you say, no, sorry, I didn't work on it, quiet, and then you are quiet, it's dead in the water. Okay. Like, so why didn't you study it? So why didn't you take a course online? So like, aren't you serious about your profession? Like, okay, they wouldn't tell you, but that's the first thing they are thinking, okay? The second thing, if you don't have the relevant experience, you can a little bit play on the Ole card. Like, you can hear from my accent, be nice about it, okay? You can hear from my accent, I'm not an Israeli, and everything here is so like brand new and exciting and cutting edge. Be flattering, okay? And I think I'm gonna start doing A, B, and C, like, just to like learn the new ecosystem, use big words, okay? Like, make it feel like it's very exciting and new and not like you're afraid of something, okay? The word new ecosystem, innovation, I'm used to learn online and it's a great way to study, being sexy about it. Okay? Never say no. Never say I don't know. It's word we don't use.
Maya, can I have a question about salary expectations during the phone interview?
Yeah.
My question is about, should I give a figure if I have it in mind, or it is better just to say, okay, as your HR manager, you should understand that the figures that this position goes to, and so just don't give a figure, exact figure.
Actually, there is no reason not to give us an assumption, and it can be even a bit higher than what you think. First of all, you can consult with your mentor, and I really recommend it to all of you before you go to a job interview, because he probably knows the company if he comes from your field, okay? And he will probably be able to tell you the salary ranges for your position in this company, okay? So it will be very easy, usually, to say right away how much you expect to receive, okay? And not do a stupid mistake or something, okay? Too high or too low. So the mentor will have a big part in it. And a lot of mentors say that they are really upset if the mentee doesn't ask them how much to ask before he goes for an interview, because a lot of times they could have saved him, okay? And save him some time about it. And most HR think that the fact that you know the number is professional. Okay, it just means that you are a professional in your field, and that you are not afraid to ask for money, because why would you be afraid? You are a professional.
Okay, but just to hear an opinion that
once it was in the old times it was very good to say, so what do you offer? Well, I expect that you know, but these days everybody feels very proud to say a number.
Okay.
And I'm saying again, be proud about the number and say it with safety. If you consulted with your mentor, he knows what he's talking about. Okay. So actually, one more thing I will say, a lot of times these days, the phone interview or even the first interview is in Zoom. Okay. So guys, of course, that if you are outside your house and you accept a Zoom call, you don't, you answer it and you just say, hi, look around, I'm in the bus, or look around, I'm in the street. Can you send me a WhatsApp with your number and I will call you when I'll be home. Okay? But sure, make it friendly. I'm on the bus, I'm on the street. I don't want people to think that you are just, avoiding them or not answering. So it's important to answer, that she sees you smiling, and just show her around, okay? I can't speak right now, it's cool that you called, just can you send me a WhatsApp, okay? Now, if you're at home, make sure, like now that I see, everybody, all of you have a really nice and professional background, and it's great. So just be like, take a deep breath, sit down, be ready, have a cup of coffee next to you if you can. If they arrange a first call, a lot of them will send you an email just to arrange the first call. Okay, that's very popular too. So just be sure that everything is working. Make sure that your speaker is working. Tons of times I have a consultancy with someone and the speaker is not working, and it's make them angry because they have a tight schedule, like 15 minutes for each person, and it's starting in the wrong foot if it's not working. Okay, so call your friend and make sure, like 5 minutes before, that everything is working. Okay. Questions?
Maya, is it common to make a phone before arrange a time slot for it?
Yes, if she just wants to make basic qualifications, like that's the usual, the junior one calling you, that's usually the junior person calling you just to see there is enough qualification to move it to the professional manager to a Zoom meeting, okay? So it's really very focused answer. Do you have experience in cloud? Do you have experience in, C++? Like very basic first conversation. Okay. Now, that is for the interview itself, the long interview. I remind you again, a lot of you forget because you speak about what's relevant for the position, okay? Only about that. Other experience, unless it's very exciting or very special or something very cool, like, I don't know, like I'm volunteering now in Save the Whales, you know, in Australia, and I'm doing all the marketing for them. Like, unless it's something very cool and very strange, you don't mention it in the job interview if they are not asking you about it, okay? A job interview is really the question, why should I pay you a salary? That's a job interview, guys. It's not about you. Why should I pay you a salary? That's a job interview, okay? And the first thing is about, because I'm a professional, the fact that you're a nice person, it's about the vibe and about the chemistry in the job interview, okay? And if you smile and if you make them feel comfortable, and as I say, always ask smart questions, make them feel smart, make them feel powerful. Like, really, like, not the general question about tell me about your company, you know, ask really smart questions. Like, I saw that your company had this new, you know, this new system that you came out with. Like, how is the market response? Will I be working with this system? Do you intend to put me in the new department? Like, ask really professional questions. Like, do real research before you go into an interview. Okay, not like the general question, how big is the department, like who will be my direct manager? Okay, you can say, I saw in LinkedIn that the direct manager is A, B, and C. Do you think that the fact that I came from a similar background is a good, you know, is an added value? Give her the answers. Usually a lot of Israelis that are more professional will do a real in-depth research about the person that is going to interview them and about the company before they sit for an interview. Okay, they have to see that you are serious, that you are professional. It doesn't matter if you are marketing, finance, a product. What did you do which is relevant to the company? And you can't answer that without researching the company. Is there a new tool that they are selling? Are you working with a similar clients? You have to make it very clear. And the first question will always be, tell me about yourself, which means tell me why should I pay you a salary? Don't be mistaken about it. Now, of course, if there is something really nice that you can tell about yourself, it's always good. It's always good. It's always good to say I'm volunteering in something. It's always good to say that I used to volunteer in the back, you know, in the past in something, you know. Nice things are always nice, but, you know, as an added value, not as the main thing. And again, when they tell me about yourself, not more than 8 sentences to 10 sentences. Write it down before you go to the interview and make it specific to the company, okay? Specific for this company. Don't repeat yourself like a parrot every time and tell me about yourself. It has to be specific to the company. Each company is different. One company is a startup. One company has 20 years in the market. One company has 100 people. One company has 15 people. It's a different pitch. Okay? I used to work in small teams. I used to work in a big bureaucratic company. You describe yourself according to the company you apply to. That's why I'm saying first the research, then you explain to yourself and write it down what you're going to say in the job interview and why. Why are you going to say it? I'm going to say that I'm great in Excel. Why am I going to say it? Because they work only with Excel, and they ask for it in the job description. Okay, you build yourself what you have to say, and that way you will also feel much more comfortable in the job interview because you are gonna manipulate it. Now, I know it sounds like a headache, but let's be honest. How many real face-to-face job interviews do you have at the end of the day? Not so many. You can take the time and research. And between us, a research is not more than an hour because all the information is in the company website, okay? Let me give you some tips about that. In the company website, where you have to go to first is publication, PR and publication. Why? Because there you will find everything that happened lately. Don't bother time on anything else. PR and publication and question, how do you call this? Usually ask question.
ASQ.
Yeah. Why? Because that's what usually people ask them, and this will be most of the answers you need about the company. Okay, so publication and this and the other and AFQ, you know, and this. So this is where you have got most of your answers to what you're going to say to this company. Now, it will be also very interesting to go to customers and see which customers they say they work with. Because if you worked with these customers in the past, somehow, it's a great added bonus, and you're going to mention it in the job interview. So this is the research you need to do. And what? It takes more than an hour? Yes.
Maya, one of the companies that I was doing an interview, my old company was a client for this company. And I worked with their team already. So it's a good thing to take on the interview, to talk about it, that I know how you work, I know your culture.
Yes, for Israeli companies, this is gold.
Okay.
It's the first thing I would have said. Like, tell me about yourself. Like, I know about you for a long time, and I was excited to come like for an interview because when I worked with this client.
Nice, thanks.
Okay, questions about job interview. Now, guys, you have a mentors, especially also for the job interview. Why? Because your mentor should practice with you professional job interview in your field in Israel. So before every time you go on and you are lucky to have a conversation with a professional manager or an interview with a professional manager, first practice with your mentor. Because he probably knows the company, he will give you tips. A lot of time he will have a friend in the company. A lot of times he even knows the manager and can talk with you about the manager. Okay, so don't go into a professional interview without talking with your mentor first. HR is okay, but professional manager, he might know him and he might practice with you. Israel is a very small market. We know each other. Okay? Okay, so this was morning coffee with Maya. And it's been a pleasure. And thank you for being so active. And I will see you all when you sign your contract, and you will need help but for me reading it and approving it. So, you know, soon enough, just to say goodbye to everybody.